Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today is going to be a little bit of a left-hand turn off of our normal how to service fishing reels. We're going to look at a fishing rod today. We're going to look at how to keep it rejuvenated or make it rejuvenated because it's got a lot of UV damage, and the cork in particular is dried out significantly on this one, and it can be restored to a certain extent using some products. We'll share with you those products. We'll see how it does. We'll give you a test. We'll see how that works. Well, how did this whole story get started? Many of you may recall, may have seen the video that I did on upgrading a Shimano Bantam Coriolis, and we put the Boca bearings in there, and this thing just spins like crazy now. And as I was kind of out searching around, I said it would be nice to pair this with a rod that can go take it fishing. And I was at a local flea market. I happen to go by every now and then. Occasionally you'll find some fishing stuff there, and I found this rod. And this rod just caught my attention. It's a Fenwick rod. I have it kind of backwards here, but it's the Fenwick Eagle. It's a Fenwick rod. It's an HMX. The rod, well, modern version of it, I guess, is selling for about $90 today. I paid $10 for this one, and I haggled with the fella because of the condition of the cork grip. And my concern or my take all along was I'm going to recondition this because I have a product that I purchased a while ago and didn't use it. Thought that I was going to use it on one rod, and I guess for whatever reason never did. And that product is called U40 Cork Seal. It's a polymer product. It's water-based. It's basically painted onto the cork. And those of you that know cork and the properties of cork know that it is absorbent. And so this is intended to get into the nooks and crannies, if you will. It's a sealant. You only take one coat because once you put it on, it's going to seal it. The second coat is not going to be useful at all. But it kind of got my attention, and I said, you know what? Found the rod, have the cork seal. Maybe we can do a little bit of a video about reconditioning the rod. It's curious what you find. When I was out and about, I got some ferrule lubrication wax. What's the ferrule? Well, on a double a two-piece rod, the ferrule is the connection point between those two. This one's a lubrication and a wax. If you find that you have a ferrule that's sticking or becoming a little bit unmanageable, there are products on there for dealing with that. And then another one that I found in kind of an older pack, fly line cleaner. And I don't do much fly fishing, and I don't have dirty line, I guess, but I've never used that one. This is the fun part of this, in the original tin, right? And it really is a tin. And then for the rod blank, I like this one. I like Pen Rod and Reel Cleaner. It's you see me use it a lot on the rod, on the reels that I do, particularly on Bakelite reels. They do, for the most part, a nice job of at least temporarily masking the UV damage, and certainly a good job of cleaning up the dried greases, the films, the dirt and debris that get on the reels over the course of fishing. Well, today we're going to spend that moment. We'll show you how to apply the cork seal, and we'll see if it does any good. Again, I saw that. I had a project in mind that didn't work out. It's been sitting here a while. Now I have that project, so let's get started. Before I get too far down the line, I want to stop for a moment and encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you like this. If you like to learn about fishing reels, if you like to see how fishing reels are serviced and repaired, and if you're just generally interested in the fishing industry and things that are happening day in and day out to either improve products, change products, or just introduce new products, then that's things that I try to cover in my channel. And subscribing is the best way to find out what's getting posted when, so that, well, you can make a decision as to whether that's something you want to know more about. Subscriptions are free, so go ahead and sign up. All right, this stuff is going to seal against dirt and oils. Well, some of the things that may have been in here because it's not sealed is dirt and oil. So I think that a good idea would be to take a fine sandpaper just kind of run it across there. Don't be aggressive about it. But if you do have a high spot, you may be able to work it down. But you can see how it's kind of knocking off that layer of grime, dirt, debris, whatever it may be that's on here. We'll do that up top as well. Just be gentle about it. Again, you don't want to go crazy, but you do want to open up the pores to the best that you can so that the sealant can work its way in. I think that's probably enough there. Let's take a paper towel and wipe it down. At one point I was doing a lot of woodwork and remembered about tack cloths and things like that. The more dust you remove, the smoother the finish is going to be. I haven't worked with this one. It's a water-based polymer, but I don't know how it compares to, say, a normal polyurethane. Okay, well, it looks like we're pretty clean there. So let's see what you want to do. Of course, you always want to read your directions. It says apply to the entire cork surface with a bristle brush. We've got the bristle brush. Brush out the excess because it will not soak in. And allow the, you don't want to over apply because it will streak or run. One coat only, second coat will not penetrate. Clean the brush immediately. Doesn't say anything here about masking up. It's a water-based product. I don't think that's an issue with the VOCs, but put a glove on anyway, just in case I get that on my hands. Let's take a look at what we have here. And it's a clear liquid, kind of milky substance. Again, it says to use a 1/2-inch bristle brush. We'll go ahead and do that. I'm not the world's best painter. I don't refinish things, but let's see how we can do with this. Kind of laying it on. You can see how it brings out the grain right away in the cork. And I would say that I don't see puddling, but I think you want to be careful about that, about not over applying it. They made a big point of kind of not being over zealous, if you will, in terms of doing this. And I think this one does have a lot of damage on it, but to the extent that I can provide any protection on it, and well, it's cosmetic too, right? It's something that's going to help with the appearance of the rod, then it's something I'm going to try and do here. It says this dries to touch in 30 minutes and it's ready to use in 24 hours. Well, I've got that rod and reel. Well, I got the reel, got the rod now. So, well, we'll see. I'm not in a rush, and it's not like this is something that broke that needs to be addressed immediately, but it is something that I will use as soon as I have the opportunity to put this back out there. Now, I am noticing on my bench here that there is a little bit of dripping going on, so I would say maybe I did over apply a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of work this through here, just brushing it and rotating it as I do. That way I can wipe off any excess that may be occurring. The bottom looks good. I'm not seeing any puddling there. There are these pieces. I've been told that if you really wanted to go, I'll call it crazy, it's not crazy, but if you wanted to go more extensively down this path, what you can do is you can actually take a wood filler and kind of fill in these little potholes, if you will, and then sand them down before you do the coating. But right now, as I was mentioning, I got this UV40 quite some time ago, and well, when I reached the rod here, found the rod, I just thought it'd be a good idea to see how it works. It seems to be working nicely. So it's supposed to be a sealant. After the first coat dries, it should be impenetrable. That's why they say don't bother to put a second coat on it. Nothing is going to work well. And we'll give it a try. Right now, I like the way that it came out. If I could grab that right now, I would, because the next step would be to take my rod and reel cleaner we showed earlier and kind of work on this. So I'm going to leave the other piece out of the way for a moment. Here's my pen, rod, and reel cleaner. Typically, I will apply that with a kitchen scrubby. And I'm just being careful to note that I don't bump into anything below. That kitchen scrubby generally will do a nice job of applying, and you can see already the difference between the black here and kind of the old fade here. So it's kind of a catch-all thing. It's a cleaner, it's a wax, it's a polish, it's a whatever. It's doing a nice job. I like this. Now, as I mentioned, I typically will use this on the side plates of the fishing reels to clean up everything that kind of winds up on a fishing reel when you go fishing. Sometimes it's dirt, sometimes it's dust and debris, sometimes it's some other kind of buildup, sometimes it's fish scales. You're never quite sure what it is that's on there, but in this case it does a very nice job, and you can see just how shiny it got. Now, I do use this is not a Scotch-Brite, this is what I'll call the dollar store variety of it, and it breaks down from a scrubby pad. It breaks down a lot easier. This is a very fine feel. It's almost a cotton feel to this pad, where the Scotch-Brite is almost like a sandpaper feel. So there's actually a reason why I go with the dollar store kind of thinner variety type thing. You can almost see through it when you get to the point of using it after a little bit. Okay, well, that's that. That's the reconditioning of this rod for now. I think maybe when I get to a question section, I will show off the end result. Maybe in 30 minutes we'll come back, we'll take a look at that handle. Maybe I'll try and finish the video that way. Before I leave, I want to take a moment to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, EMTs, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. I appreciate everything it is that you do. I appreciate everybody who's been watching, everybody who's made the channel strong, and everybody that continues to make it vibrant. One of the things you'll notice, I got plenty left. So I guess if I find another cork thing, I understand it seals cork sandals, but I don't know, how safe that is if your sandals are coming in contact with your skin. But I guess it's okay, because your skin on your hands is going to come in contact with that grip, right? So that's what we'll learn from this, and I hope you've enjoyed learning along with me. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.